to my World Book Day video. So, as you can see already, I've got a book here that I'm interested in. And I just wanted to say, did you know there's absolutely loads of books that show us how to do all sorts of things? So this book is an instructional book and it's how to make manga characters. And this book is actually available in our school library. So if you think that you would like to make manga characters, then you'll be able to borrow this book and use it too. So that will be excellent. And it's written by Katie Coop. So, what is manga? So manga is actually the Japanese word for comics. It's a special style of comics that originated in Japan. So they draw in a very specific way and it's called manga. So we'll discover why it's different than maybe any other comics. Okay, so today I'm just going to show you how to draw a manga head. Okay, so step 1 says draw a sphere. So you're drawing a sphere, or you could just call it a circle. Now, if you think you might struggle to draw a sphere, then you could use something that is circular to help you and then draw around it. I'm going to try my best to draw with my free hand and see if I can draw a good circle. Now, I'm using a grey pen, but if I was you, I would use a pencil. That's just so that it's a bit clearer for you to see what I have drawn. But afterwards, these lines would normally be rubbed out, okay? And then the next bit says, draw a curve for the chin. So as you can see in the picture, it's got some measurements underneath. And again, you could use a ruler and find out what a third is. And we're doing 2/3 of the face for the chin. Now, I'm going to try my best to do it freehand, but if you want to use a ruler, then that is absolutely fine. So I think this is about 2/3 of the way. And then I'm going to draw my chin. And there we go, that's my chin. So that's going to help us with how we're going to do our face. Okay? Right. So step 2. Step 2, we're going to draw some guidelines to work out where the features, the eyes, the mouth, and the nose should be. So first, draw the eye guidelines. The middle one comes halfway down the face, and finally draw a guideline from the top of the head to the chin to show where the nose will go. Okay, so I know it's going to be about halfway. So again, you could use a ruler. I'm just going to try to decide. So I think this is about halfway. And then I'm drawing one that goes here. And then I'm drawing one under that goes here. Okay, and then I just need to draw this line, and it's slightly to the right of my picture because this character is actually looking that way. So I'm going to just draw that as well. So there we go. That looks a bit similar to step 2. So let's move on. So step 3, and now you can notice that some of it is in orange and some of it is in black. So the black parts, I'm going to draw in black as well. And that will be the features that will stay. So if I could, I would rub out these bits after I finish my drawing. They're just a guideline to show me where the features should be. So it says above the end of the chin curve, draw a C for the ear. So I'm going to draw my C for my ear. And then it says, now you can begin to shape the face using the eye guidelines. Cut a curve out of the side of the face. So I'm going to go over here. And then I've cut my curve there. Okay. And then it says add a couple of lines for the neck. So I'm just going to have a look and see where they put the lines. So there's a neckline there, and there's a neckline that comes just under the ear as well. Okay, moving on to step 4. Now draw the eyes. Draw a pair of curves going up to the top of the eye line. And you can see I'm using the book the whole time to show me how to do this. This isn't something I have in my brain. It's the book that is helping me. Okay, so I'm going to draw the curves, and then underneath the top 2 curves, add a pair of smaller curves on the bottom of the eye line. So I'm going to draw my top 2 curves now. So curving, and it goes all the way down there. And then this eye is smaller. So I've got a curve here, and that goes there. It doesn't actually go all the way down, that one. Okay. And then I'm going to draw the curve underneath. Great. And then it says next draw an oval shape for the iris, and then another for the other iris. So again, this eye is further away, so this is going to be smaller. So I've got my iris here, and then I've got my iris here. Okay, doing a bit of science work, talking about the parts of the body as well. Right. So let's move on to step 5. So step 5 is we're going to draw a pupil inside each iris. So there's a highlight that you can do. So there's the highlight, and then I'm going to draw the pupil underneath. There we go. And I can colour that in black. Can you already see how my shape is taking place? And then we need to draw the eyebrows. So above the eyes, we're going to put the eyebrows in. So there we go. So I've got my ear, my eyes. What are we going to do for set 6? Let's have a look. Draw a tilted tick shape for the nose. So my nose is going to go on this line here. So there's my tilted tick shape. And then about halfway between the nose and the bottom of the chin, draw a curve for the mouth. So underneath here, I'm going to draw my mouth. So there we go. All the features of my face are beginning to take shape, aren't they? Okay. Step 7. Now give your character some hair. You can make it as wild as you like. Draw some pointed curves around the top and the side of the character's head and more across the forehead to make a fringe. Now, I am going to put some hair on my character, but actually I've got a little slide that shows us more detail about that, so I'm just going to wait a little bit longer for that part. Step 8, nearly there, just some final details. So add some curves inside the ear. So here we go for the ear. And then draw a line under the mouth to make a bottom lip. So there we go. You can also put a couple of blush lines at the top of the cheeks. Do I want to do that? Yes, I'll put some blush lines for him. Or her. I've not decided yet if it's a him or her. Okay. So that says now you've finished your pencil drawing, but I've not drawn my hair just yet. So next, go over the lines you want to keep in ink. Experiment with different pens. So I've done the lines I want to keep in black, and then the lines that I might rub out in grey. So that's just to show you and it to be more clear for you. The grey parts you would have done in pencil. In fact, you would have done all this in pencil so that you can kind of amend it as you're going, and then you use a pen to go over. And then you can rub out all of the pencil, and then once you've done that, you can colour it in. So let's just move on to our hair. So drawing manga hair. Manga characters are known for their wild and crazy hairstyles. Drawing manga hair looks complicated at first, but you can break it down into easy shapes, just as you did with the face. So most manga hair is made from a collection of curved and pointed shapes that should always come at the ends. You can collect these shapes together to make bigger or more interesting shapes. Okay, so I've noticed that quite often the hair kind of comes down where the eyes are. I'm not going to do that today, just because I want you to be able to still see the facial features, but I have done some examples that I can show you that I've done where that's where the hair goes. Okay, so I'm going to go back to where it's showing me how to do the hair, and then I'm going to copy that a little bit, but maybe I'll do my own pointed shapes too. So I can see that usually under the ears, there's just little parts of the hair here. And then you'll have to have a smaller part of the hair at the side. And then he's got quite a big bit coming up. And the hair's quite a fun bit really, because you can kind of do lots of fun different shapes. And then I need to do his fringe. So his fringe is coming past his hair here, and then it's coming down. So I'm trying to avoid the features I've already done. You don't have to do that, it can go anywhere. And then once I've done his hair, I can then put in the features for his face. So it has ended up being a boy this time. So I can draw that in, so he's got his chin, and there's my manga drawing. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. And then afterwards, you can choose lots of different colours for the hair. It doesn't have to be standard hair colours for manga. It can be quite wild colours for the hair. And I'll show you what I mean in the drawings that I have done. So my first one is here, and it looks very similar actually to the drawing that I've just done on the flip chart paper. And that is just quite a simple colour scheme, and it's quite simple hair, and that was what I drew first, just to get used to what I was drawing. And then here I wanted to experiment with the hair and see what I could do. So I made really long hair, I decided, and I put a bow in her hair, and then I did lots of pointed bits at the end, and then I decided that I wanted to have the end parts to be really dark purple, and then as the hair went up, I decided that I wanted it to be faded and to almost look a bit white, and I quite like that effect actually. And as you can tell as well already, I'm thinking about different eye colours and different skin tones as well, so you can be really, really creative with this. And the next one, I wanted to do some really eccentric hair. So his hair looks a bit like fire, doesn't it? Okay, and can you see here, I've actually used a pink pen to put some highlights into his hair, just so that his hair looks really shiny. Okay, I've changed the skin color, I've changed the hair, but it's still the same basic model. I've just changed the hair and I've changed the colors that I've used. So it's something that you can be really creative with and really experiment with. And finally, this is the last one that I did. I chose to have green hair for this one, and I've used pens mostly, but sometimes I've used pencil crayons to do the skin color as well, because I find skin color quite a hard one. And this is actually an orange pencil crayon that I used, but I just colored lightly. So it's quite interesting, the different things that you can do. So really have an experiment. And here she's got a headband in, so it's really different, isn't it? But I really, really enjoyed this. And this is just a small section of the book that I've used, and it's entertained me for a very long time. There's loads of different things in this book that are look really fun to do. So the other things, there's more information about manga. It will tell you what materials that you need. It will tell you how to draw different kinds of manga eyes, how to draw different faces, how to make a character, how to do different moods, how to do the movement of the characters, and there's so much more. It basically teaches you, by the end of it, you'll be able to make your own manga comic. So it's something really worthwhile doing if you really enjoy artwork and you really enjoy drawing things like this. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a super World Book Day, and I'm really excited to see any of your manga drawings. That would make me really, really happy. Okay, have a super day. Goodbye.